Hi, and what have you done for love today? Oh my. I found this whenever my channel was taken down, and then of course it was miraculously resurrected because I tell you that love never dies, but no one wants to listen. So I forgot until now. This is when I remember. I was like, oh yeah, this is the coolest thing. This is one of the coolest things I ever found. And this is a real thing that really happened. And so this tells me an invisible electrostatic wall, how the firmament was created. So listen up, this is a real thing that really happened. David Swenson of 3M Corporation describes an anomaly where workers encountered a strange invisible wall in the area under a fast-moving sheet of electrically charged polypropylene film in a factory. The invisible wall was strong enough to prevent humans from passing through. A person near this wall was unable to turn, and so they had to walk backwards to retreat from it. This occurred in the late summer of South Carolina, August 1980. In extremely high humidity, PP film on 50K foot rolls, 20 foot wide, was being slit and transferred to multiple smaller spools. The film was taken off the main roll at high speed, flowed upwards 20 feet to overhead rulers, passed horizontally 20 feet, and then downward to the slitting device where it was spooled onto shorter rolls. The whole operation formed a cubicle-shaped tent with two walls and a ceiling approximately 20 foot square. The spools ran at about 10 miles an hour. The PP film had been manufactured with dissimilar surface structure on opposing faces. Contact electrification can occur even in similar fields if the if the surface textures or microstructures are significantly different. The generation of large imbalance of electrical surface charge during unspooling was therefore not expected and is a common problem in this industry. It's called static cling in the megavolt range. On entering the factory floor and far from the equipment, Mr. Swenson's handheld electrometer was found to slam to full scale. When he attempted to walk around the corridor formed by the moving film, he was stopped about halfway through by an invisible wall, a force field, a firmament, a magnetosphere. He could lean all his weight forward, but was unable to pass. You shall not pass! He observed a fly get pulled into the charged moving plastic and speculates that the E-fields might have been strong enough to suck in birds. The production manager did not believe Mr. Swenson's report of the strange phenomenon. When they both returned to the factory floor, they found that the wall was no longer there. But the production workers had noticed the effect as occurring early in the morning when humidity was lower, so they agreed to try again another day. The second attempt was successful, and early in the morning the field underneath the tent was strong enough to raise even the short, curly hair of the production manager. The invisible wall, the firmament, the force field, the magnetosphere effect had returned. He commented that he didn't know whether to fix or sell tickets. And my response to him would have been, sell tickets to what? It doesn't exist. Remember, it was all a joke. Let me tell you about the American idiot. So then someone even commented on this. Apparently people have made force fields before. I met this guy at an ESD meeting in Austin once. He said the strength of the field maxed out his equipment at a distance, so he couldn't get a maximum measurement. After he published the paper, he was contacted by NASA and all the three-letter agencies asking for more info. He wanted to experiment around with it, but no company had the millions to throw into such a project. Presumably the government did. But it had to be such a narrow window of temperature, pressure, humidity, etc., that everyone was just kind of like, meh. And so everyone just kind of basically was like, that's cool, we can do this, but we'll never be able to do it when we want, at will, because everything, speed, humidity, everything has to be perfect. So to me, this is exactly how the firmament is made. I just showed you it's a real thing, a force field, an invisible wall where humans cannot pass through, randomly, naturally occurred in 1980 in South Carolina during the summer. That's during the rise of Sirius. This place, it all has to be, it's all electric, which is Father Uranus. Because they're there, right? Uranus and Saturn. Because it formed a cubical tent. Remember, where did that go? There. Cubicle shaped tent. Because one's the body, one's the electrical fire. So there you go. And they'll never claim that this place isn't, they'll never admit or say this place is an electric universe, because Uranus is the father of electricity. And Saturn only wants Saturn to rule. That's why Saturn killed its kids. Nothing rules but me. Uranus is the father of electricity, so therefore if they admit that this place is an electric universe, they are handing over rulership to Uranus. Not going to happen on Saturn's literal watch. So you have to put it all, you have to look past the illusion, through the illusion. This invisible wall, strong enough to prevent humans from passing through. That's why Jesus says, only through the Son, because the Son is the gate. Only through the Son will you get to heaven. And only in a perfect place, because outside of here, everything is perfect. So only in a perfect place, where conditions are perfect, like you need for this invisible wall, can something like this be created at will. So here you go. This is how the firmament, along these lines, how it's made. We're absolutely moving, we're absolutely spinning, because that's what it takes to create this thing. In this instance, it was about 10 miles an hour, so I highly doubt in any aspect of what they're saying how fast we're moving is true. But I realized this years ago that we are indeed moving, and this further solidifies that thought. This is pretty cool stuff, yeah?